Chapter 1. The Hidden Cave. Maya loved spending her days exploring the seashore, collecting seashells and watching the waves crash against the rocks. But one day, as she was playing on the beach, she noticed something she had never seen before. A small opening in the rocks, hidden behind a clump of seaweed. Curious, she ventured closer and peered inside. The opening was just big enough for her to squeeze through, and she found herself in a dark, narrow tunnel. Maya hesitated for a moment, unsure whether to continue, but her curiosity got the better of her, and she pressed on. The sound of the waves growing fainter behind her. The tunnel twisted and turned, and Maya felt a sense of excitement building inside her as she wondered where it would lead. Finally, she emerged into a small chamber, lit by a faint blue glow. Maya looked around in wonder, taking in the strange sights around her. The chamber was filled with glowing plants and shimmering crystals, and in the center was a pool of sparkling water. As Maya approached the pool, she saw movement beneath the surface. Suddenly, a beautiful mermaid appeared, swimming gracefully towards her. Maya couldn't believe her eyes. She had heard stories of mermaids, but she had never imagined she would actually meet one. The mermaid smiled at Maya and beckoned her closer. "Welcome to the Mermaid Kingdom," she said. "I am Leela. What brings you here?" Maya was speechless. She had never heard of the Mermaid Kingdom before, and she didn't know how to explain that she had stumbled upon it by accident. But Leela seemed friendly, and Maya felt a sense of wonder and excitement building inside her. "I'm Maya," she finally managed to say. "I was just exploring the seashore, and I found this hidden cave. I didn't know it led to the Mermaid Kingdom." Leela smiled again. "Well, Maya, you are welcome here. Would you like to explore our underwater world?" Maya's heart leapt at the invitation. She had always loved the ocean, and the idea of exploring a whole new world filled with mermaids and sea creatures was almost too exciting to bear. "Yes, please," she said, and Leela took her hand and led her towards the pool. "But first," she said, "we need to get you a tale." Chapter 2. Meeting the Mermaids. Leela took Maya to a hidden cove, where a group of mermaids were gathered. Maya couldn't believe what she was seeing. The mermaids were beautiful, with shimmering tails and long, flowing hair. They swam gracefully through the water, weaving in and out of coral reefs and playing with friendly sea creatures. "Maya, meet my friends," Leela said, introducing her to the other mermaids. "This is Marina, Luna, and Solara." The mermaids greeted Maya warmly, and she felt a sense of excitement building inside her. She had never imagined that she would meet so many magical creatures in one place. The mermaids invited Maya to swim with them, and she eagerly accepted. Leela gave her a tail to wear, and Maya felt the weightlessness of swimming through the water. It was like nothing she had ever experienced before. She felt free and exhilarated, as if she could fly through the ocean. As they swam, Maya was amazed at the sights around her. She saw schools of brightly colored fish, waving sea fans, and towering coral formations. She even glimpsed a few dolphins and sea turtles, who swam by to say hello. The mermaids showed Maya their underwater homes, caves filled with glowing crystals, gardens of seaweed and coral, and even a sunken ship that had become a playground for sea creatures. As the day wore on, Maya realized that she was getting hungry. "Do you eat seaweed?" she asked the mermaids, wondering what mermaids ate. The mermaids laughed. "No, Maya," Leela said. "We eat fish and other sea creatures. But we can't catch them ourselves. We have to trade with the dolphins and sea turtles for our food." Maya was fascinated. She had never heard of mermaids trading with other sea creatures before. As they swam back to the cove, Maya felt a sense of sadness. She didn't want to leave this magical underwater world behind. "Will I ever see you again?" she asked the mermaids. "Of course," Leela said, smiling. "You are always welcome in the Mermaid Kingdom." Chapter 3. The Sea Creatures. Maya loved spending her days exploring the seashore, collecting seashells, and watching the waves crash against the rocks. But one day, as she was wandering along the beach, she noticed something she had never seen before: a group of sea creatures stranded on the sand. Maya rushed to the creatures' aid, carefully picking them up and placing them back in the water. As she did, she marveled at the strange and wondrous creatures she was rescuing. There were starfish with spiny arms, crabs with big claws, and colorful fish with shimmering scales. One creature caught Maya's eye: a tiny octopus, with big, expressive eyes and 8 curly tentacles. Maya couldn't resist picking up the octopus and admiring its curious, inquisitive expression. Suddenly, the octopus squirted a stream of ink at Maya's face, surprising her and making her laugh. Maya realized that the creature was playful and mischievous, and she felt a sense of connection with it. As she continued to explore the seashore, Maya encountered more and more sea creatures, each with their own unique personalities and quirks. She met a grumpy crab who refused to be picked up, a shy starfish who clung to the rocks, and a curious seagull who followed her along the shore. Maya found herself drawn into the creatures' world, fascinated by their behaviors and interactions. She spent hours observing them, taking notes in a notebook she had brought along. One day, as she was watching a school of fish darting through the water, Maya heard a strange sound. It was a low, mournful groan, like the sound of an animal in pain. Maya followed the sound, and soon came across a beached whale, thrashing in the shallow water. Maya knew she had to act quickly to save the whale. She called out to some nearby fishermen, who rushed to her aid. Together, they worked to push the whale back into the water, using ropes and pulleys to guide it safely into the deeper ocean. As the whale swam away, Maya felt a sense of satisfaction and pride. She had made a difference in the world, and she knew that she would always be connected to the sea creatures she had come to love. From that day on, Maya continued to explore the seashore and the creatures that called it home. She knew that there was always more to discover, and she felt a sense of joy and wonder in knowing that the ocean was full of hidden treasures and secrets, just waiting to be discovered. Chapter 4. The Evil Plot. As Maya explored the ocean, she began to notice that something was amiss. The sea creatures seemed nervous and jittery, and Maya couldn't figure out why. One day, as she was swimming near the reef, Maya heard a muffled voice. She followed the sound and soon discovered a hidden cave. Inside, she found a group of mermaids huddled together, deep in conversation. Maya swam closer, curious to know what was going on. She soon heard the mermaids whispering about a sinister plot to take over the ocean. They spoke of an evil queen, who was determined to destroy all of the sea creatures and rule the ocean with an iron fist. Maya was shocked and alarmed by what she heard. She knew she had to do something to stop the evil queen's plan, but what could she do? Maya was just a girl, and the evil queen had an army of loyal followers. As Maya swam away from the cave, deep in thought, she suddenly had an idea. She knew that the sea creatures were powerful and resourceful, and if she could unite them, they might have a chance against the evil queen. Maya spent the next few days traveling the ocean, speaking to the sea creatures she had befriended. She told them about the evil queen's plot and urged them to stand together and fight back. At first, the sea creatures were hesitant. They had always lived peaceful lives, and the idea of fighting an evil queen was daunting, but as Maya spoke to them, they began to realize the seriousness of the situation. They knew they couldn't let the evil queen destroy their home. Maya and the sea creatures worked tirelessly, building weapons and training for battle. They knew that they were outnumbered, but they were determined to fight with all their might. Finally, the day of the battle arrived. Maya led the sea creatures into the heart of the evil queen's kingdom, their weapons at the ready. The queen and her army were waiting for them, sneering and laughing at their small force. But Maya and the sea creatures were brave and determined. They charged into battle, their hearts pounding with excitement and fear. The battle was fierce and intense, with sea creatures and mermaids fighting side by side. Maya fought with all her might, taking on any opponent who crossed her path. In the end, the sea creatures emerged victorious. The evil queen was defeated, and her army scattered to the winds. Maya and the sea creatures cheered in triumph, their hearts full of joy and pride. As they swam back to their own kingdoms, Maya knew that she had made a difference. She had helped to save the ocean and its inhabitants from certain destruction, and she knew that she would always be remembered as a hero, a brave girl who fought for what was right. Chapter 5. The quest begins. Maya and her friends had finally defeated the evil queen and restored peace to the ocean. But Maya knew that there was still much work to be done. The ocean was a vast and complex place, with many secrets yet to be uncovered. One day, as Maya was swimming near the reef, she came across a mysterious object. It was a golden amulet, glittering in the sunlight. Maya picked it up and examined it closely. She noticed strange symbols etched into its surface. Maya knew that the amulet must be important, but she didn't know what it meant. She showed it to her friends, but they were just as puzzled as she was. Then, Maya remembered an old legend she had heard as a child. It was said that there was a hidden treasure deep in the heart of the ocean. The treasure was said to be guarded by a powerful sea creature, and only the bravest and most skilled of adventurers could ever hope to find it. Maya realized that the amulet might be the key to finding the treasure. She knew that it would be a dangerous and difficult quest, but she also knew that she couldn't resist the challenge. Maya gathered her friends together and told them about her plan. At first, they were hesitant, but then Maya reminded them of all the adventures they had already had together. She told them that they were stronger together than they were apart, and that they could accomplish anything if they worked together. Her friends agreed, and they set off on their quest to find the treasure. They swam deep into the ocean, past dark and dangerous reefs, through hidden tunnels and winding caves. Along the way, they encountered many obstacles. They battled fierce sea creatures and dodged treacherous underwater currents. They searched high and low, following the clues provided by the amulet. As they swam deeper and deeper into the ocean, Maya began to feel a sense of excitement and adventure she had never felt before. She knew that they were on the brink of discovering something incredible. Finally, after many long weeks of searching, they arrived at the entrance to the treasure cave. It was guarded by a giant squid, its tentacles waving menacingly. Maya and her friends knew that this was their final challenge. They steeled themselves for the battle ahead and charged forward, their weapons at the ready. The battle was long and grueling, but in the end, Maya and her friends emerged victorious. The giant squid was defeated, and they entered the treasure cave. What they found inside was beyond their wildest dreams. The cave was filled with glittering jewels and priceless treasures, each more magnificent than the last. Maya and her friends reveled in their success. marveling at the incredible treasure they had found. But Mai knew that the real treasure was the bond of friendship and adventure that she had forged with her friends. Together, they swam back to their kingdoms, their hearts full of joy and their spirits soaring. They knew that their adventures were far from over, but they were ready for anything that lay ahead.